Alright, there we go. There's the draft.
Warwick Ben. I imagine there's like the meta in this tournament will be lots of 1v1 champs.
1v1 champ split pushing, yes. That's what we've seen so far.
I doing some thinking before I got it on the stream. Yeah, exactly like Nasus. But other like just like late game scalers as well, like maybe even Kale or Vega could be interesting to see. I'm not really sure how the meta would play out, but I imagine a 3v3 like high burst damage, high assassins would be really valuable if they get to that late game.
Yes, there was one test game that we played where we tried out Smolder, and the entire strat was can we stall long enough that Smolder would be good. We managed to drag out the game for 31 minutes, and the Smolder had like 350 stacks. It definitely can work. You can draft comps that can stall out if you want to go for some of those more late game type of stuff.
That's it. So speaking of the drafts, very interestingly, Nico and Amumu both, of course, really having that good team fight ultimates. I'm really excited to see how Nico pulls off the disguise, especially with the lower player counts in the lobby, as we are getting more of an early game focus for the side of Slime, with the Volibear, with the Nunu, obviously going to be. It's pretty interesting things to see if Red X Garden here decides to go for the ganks with the Nunu.
Yeah, now something that I do know is that there is a popular strategy that has shown up in Korea from time to time. You will see Nunu mid, because Nunu's Snowball deals enough base damage level 1 that you can one-shot caster minions. If you start W and you get a full range W, you roll the W through the casters, and then you cancel it, you get 2 instances of damage, it automatically kills the casters. At that point, the Nunu can shove the wave, go gank a side lane, and then you just rinse and repeat over and over again. I don't know if we're going to see something like that. We might also see a world where the Nunu just takes Smite and tries to jungle. We haven't seen necessarily anybody try to go for a more jungle-centric strategy. We saw some teams earlier take Smite for the objective pressure, but no jungling yet.
Right, and on the topic of that, Nunu being or going for more of a jungle-centric playstyle, certainly this would be the game for it. I would say, since looking at the composition of Sanguine Squinks, they don't really have super great pushing potential. Like they have a clap which might be a bit of a problem if they do like a lane swap. But besides that, Mumu and Nico, as far as I understand, don't have the best tower clear speeds. So could be a good opportunity for Red X Garden here to debut that, I guess, pick in this tournament.
Yep, and give me 1 second. I need to start the gambling prediction.
I do quite like as well seeing the Caitlyn. I wasn't really expecting any ADCs here since there wouldn't be any supports to support them, but I suppose if you had to pick any, it would probably be Caitlyn, just because she's great in that early game. She has that really oppressive range, especially into the composition of Sanguine Squinks. It will be really interesting to see how Cody takes that early lead and translate that into maybe some ganks or just winning the lane in general.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the reason why it does tend to be the marksman champions who need a support is because marksman champions tend to be squishy, they lack mobility, right? So early game, they're vulnerable to a lot of jungle ganks. In a format where we are not necessarily getting jungle ganks because there are no junglers, everybody's stuck in lane. If somebody disappears from lane, you automatically know that they have to be looking to move somewhere, right? So in those types of formats, seeing those oppressive high-range marksman champions in the solo lanes can make a lot more sense, in my opinion. This is not the first Caitlyn we've seen today. There was a Caitlyn who played earlier and found some good laning success, so I'm not super shocked to see that. I am curious about whether this Nico will go AD or AP, because I feel like Amumu is a champion that can do a lot of magic damage. I would be hesitant to say that Kled could be the sole physical damage source on the team.
But if she does go AD, obviously, then her AP damage is basically non-existent, so they could just itemize into armor. Kled, you're right, doesn't really have too much damage though, so we'll see what Sanguine Squinks decide to build into.
Yeah, like I know that like from my experience playing Amumu, that like you go Leandris and then all of a sudden you have like all the magic damage you could ever want. Now the alternative would be like if Amumu wanted to try to build into an Abyssal Mask, then that would certainly help out the Nico if she chooses to go AP.
Definitely.
So that could be something that we might see.
But as we finally load into the game, what are the bets on the stream side for who's gonna win this matchup?
It was overwhelmingly in favor of Slime.
Overworked. We'll see if that comes true as we finally get into the games. Seems to yeah, unfortunately, yes, the Nico will be going AP. Besides that, pretty standard builds for everyone else as well. So matchups will be Volibear into a Mumu. Imagine Volibear will be quite in control of the lane, at least until 6. A Mumu certainly, without being able to safely power farm up in the early game, will not be having a really great time against Potato with Weed's Volibear. As we see here, he's already looking to press that advantage. He's gonna walk into the bush. Sky Splitter lands. McDonough will be forced to back away from this, but Potato with Weeds celebrating his immediate lead already.
Ooh, I see that Kled and Mumu are resetting. I think they're going to try to look for a little bit of a lane swap here. Yeah, so there is one way that you can swap your lanes early game, and that is that if you follow the rule of only one champion per lane and nobody in the jungle, you can do this. Both Kled and Mumu are basing, and they're going to run down each other's lanes. This is the one way that you can get in an early game lane swap. So Mumu Salty Volibear didn't like it, wants to go against the Caitlyn instead. I think that's a good choice. But Mumu with Conqueror has a lot of burst damage, and against a squishy champion like Caitlyn, if he manages to land a Q or two, you could see some potential lethal windows coming out there.
Yeah.
You ever seen the Nunu tech?
You're gonna land a snowball onto the Nico here. No, we'll go a little wide. But like you said, the wave is being shoved incredibly hard already.
Yep.
So we'll give him that little bit of prio. Building that up slowly. Again, of course, Nunu has great ganking potential here. So if he is able to build up a really big wave or two, not even that, he's just gonna go for it immediately.
Yeah, no, that red side does have a ward, yes.
But doesn't seem to. He barely manages to react in time. But the snowball will catch him out. Never mind, will instead be forced to burn flash in return. At this stage in the game, quite valuable.
And this is the thing that's so strong about Nunu, is that like you can take water walking, your W gives you movement speed, so even though Nico's trying to shove the wave as fast as she can, Nunu's gonna get back in time. He's gonna miss like one melee minion and nothing else.
Speaking of shoving the wave as well, look at this. Look at the amount of minions already onto this bot lane tower here. First place already almost gone, it's barely 2 minutes 30. Top side, more of a normal top lane matchup certainly. Fed into Volibear. Lexi is about to drop Scarl though, will be a bit of a problem if Potato really can get one more Sky Splitter off.
Yeah, but there is some special Kled tech. If you time your Scarl drop right when you go level 3, Kled players, they like to take W level 3, immediately go all in, because you go onto Scarl, you get the empowered attack speed, and then you can remount right away. I think if that Q had landed on the Kled, she would have looked for an all-in.
Interesting. The backtrap now lands. Like, now looking to take the fight to Potato. He's
Yeah,
actually really low on
it is.
HP. Kled surprisingly manages to get the first blood off the game.
Yeah, maybe just
great for
disrespecting the
the
Kled level 3 power spike there.
Yeah. Remember kids, don't get cocky, even if your opponent is only silver. Demonstrating a new TP, or the new TP coming in from the Volibear here. How does that TP, or like, how does TP being a channel dash instead of a blink actually affect anything? And I don't think it does, from what I understand.
The TP takes longer, so it's like a slower TP. But you can TP to anything now, so you can TP to turrets, minions, wards, like straight out of the gate.
Yes. While we were talking about that, McDonough just gets shot in the back of the head by the Caitlyn here.
Yeah, the Nunu gank was really problematic. The Mumu has no farm, no experience, no nothing.
Especially again with the Caitlyn range is just so oppressive here. Look at the CS differential, 28 to 2, 29 to 2. There's really just nothing McDonough can do right now. Basically just forced to play weak side as Lexi is doing a good job of keeping the pressure up on Potato with the Weed. Damage is actually coming in really well. Uses the flash forward, gets Scarl back up, forces Potato with Weed to flash away, and will be putting Team Slime in a really bad position here. However, the Nunu is actually in from the mid lane. Lexi barely manages to catch it in time. Scarl is really low. Manages to sidestep the Snowball actually, and will likely be able to get away to safety. Carl is lost.
And
Actually
gets
turns
the
it around
kill.
onto Wet Garden, gets the kill with the shotgun blast. Potato will be unable to find support at all. However, the stun will land on Lexi, and he will manage to avenge his fallen mid laner.
Yeah, maybe getting a little bit over aggressive there, not realizing that Volibear, because of that Q stun, can output so much damage on the return trade. But pretty good mechanics coming out from this Silver Kled. I'm impressed that she's holding her own against these Diamond players.
Absolutely. Really impressive stuff here.
And wow, look at that build. Serrated Dirk from the Kled. So aggressive.
Yeah, she's looking to push that advantage. Basically, her team's only advantage at this point.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Nico.
Like, I think, you know, you look at the Amumu being set so far behind, and then you just say, okay, well, I have to accelerate this game somehow.
Yeah. And the Nico as well, just not really able to find much value at the Nunu's just always out of lane, and she can't really follow without her ultimate.
Yeah, and even though Nunu's not necessarily in the lane, Nico not necessarily CSing amazingly either. Only about 5 a minute at the moment.
So well, coming in from downtown though, barely manages to miss the Nico, but will be able to clear out the minion wave once again.
But you can see, even though the Nunu gank didn't necessarily work top, you can see what I was saying about how Nunu mid can be so annoying.
Absolutely. The Nico here trying to make something happen top, but they will be just not really in a good spot for them as they will start to go for the Void Drop. Interestingly, using the Pop Blossom to quickly
yeah.
clear that out.
Well, you
I
know,
believe they don't have this game,
but
so-
before she ulted the Void Grubs, I was going to say that Nico actually can take these objectives really fast. Nico has a lot of bonus monster damage, so her Q deals bonus monster damage per hit, and then her W, the empowered auto attack, also does bonus damage to monsters, so objectives go down really quick, even if Nico doesn't have smite.
Of course, Pop Blossom does do damage on his own to monsters as well, as Nunu looking for another gank here in the bot lane. The ultimate will be able to land, bringing Madonna down to the sliver. Ace in the hole will be able to finish it off. Nunu managing to barely scrape by. Lexi now meanwhile on top side. Pushing her advantage once again with that Dirk. Look at the damage onto Potato with the weed. Really holding her own here again, even without Skarl available for that extra health. And yeah, again, just own really Sanguine Squinks only way into the mid to late game here in this top side.
Yeah, no, I see that Kled is about to remount. When you remount, I believe you can drop turret aggro. I could be wrong, but I'm wondering if maybe Kled is thinking about a dive. Could be scary because Volibear has ult, but that Scarl bar does look quite appealing.
Very tempting. But it just goes to show the discipline here, even again from the Civil player, to have like the self-control to say, hey, maybe let's not go for this even though I can, right? Especially because the Nunu at that point just wasn't seen on the map. She could even be expecting a gank right now, which Red X Garden is looking to do, but instead will decide to go for it anyway. The barrel trap on a hook unfortunately doesn't land, but Snowball coming in from downtown now. Lexi will be forced to back away from this. Don't think she can take a full health Nunu alongside the Volibear. Volibear ultimate will be used as Skarl will flee away. The Potato with the Weed will be able to take out Lexi, but the tower will be able to take him back in turn. 1 for 1 again from Lexi. I'm sure she's quite happy about that, as that gives the opportunity for Blizzard to push out the mid lane, however not before taking a concerning amount of tower dagger.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Nico, because of that W passive, will definitely be able to get some more turret damage on this turret than Nunu would be able to. Nunu doesn't really have a good way to deal damage to towers. Has some attack speed increase from his E, but other than that, I mean, like, it's really nothing.
On the topic of damage, look at the Kaylin right now. Already has collectors.
Ooh, yeah.
And the Moon was still pitiful 14 CS.
Yeah, what's the
It's just
condition of this
really
bot
difficult for him
turret?
to do anything.
4 plates taken for the Caitlyn already.
Oh, incredible.
And they're even lane swapping. They're putting the Amumu back top, and they're sending Kled bot. Kled has ult. Wait, no, he doesn't. I'm tripping. Kled.
He will have ult.
Yeah.
Matchup on hook will be able
got
to
the
land, pulling
pullback.
the healing back. Another fight happening in the mid lane here, forcing or keeping Lizard away from spotting her Kled bot lane. Can we get back to that? Are they fighting? No, they're not fighting anymore. But yeah, not a great start for the Kled. However, the Amu finally managing to get finally them to see some action here after hit on Weed, but the tower aggro just not really where it needs to be. Mumu still doesn't really have the damage to take this 1v1 successfully at the moment. We see Faraday we just straight up proxying him already. That's just kind of painful to watch.
No, and I've kind of noticed that the Amumu is He's used ultimate a couple of times now, and neither time was able to buffer the CC properly. It seems like as soon as he lands the Q, he just wants to press R right away. Maybe layering that CC better could have actually like killed the Nunu on the bot side of the map earlier.
Speaking of bot side of the map, Lexi barely manages to dash away from the Nunu ultimate. Now without Skarl and in a 2v1. Does Cody evade in the hole? Yes, he does. Lexi will be taken out by Cody. Not third kill going to the Caitlyn here.
Yeah, and that one really feels bad. I mean, like, if you're Sanguine Squinks and that Kled is the only person on your team who can get fed, you really would have wanted to get that Caitlyn shut down. You know, I think if he had killed the Caitlyn, he would have also been able to kill the Nunu.
Yeah, especially because he already managed to flash away from the Nunu ultimate. Top of the map here. Oh my god, look at that damage onto McDonough. Running out of mana as well, will definitely not be able to stay in lane for much longer.
Yeah, and that volley bear ult is coming back up, so we could see even a potential dive happen.
Like looking at the mid lane, Lizardy trying to push it up, but just doesn't really have the damage again to really get anything done before the Red Jordan manages to get back in lane. Volley bear ultimate use just immediately slaps McDonough out, and there will be another kill going to Slime as his fourth tower plate will fall as well. 3 more minutes for tower plate things. Both top and bottom side already claimed, but mid lane tower at the very least still has the tower platings for the side of Sanguine Squinks, as they will be looking to engage here in this river here. Pop Blossom, unfortunately doesn't land on the Caitlyn, but will be take out Nunu at the very least. The range on the Caitlyn, they're chipping out Lizardy insanely much, as Lexi tries to come in for the kill as well, but will be flanked by the Potato with Weed, and will be taken out by the Sky Splitter, leaving Lizardy alone and unable to continue this fight.
Yeah, Sanguine Squinks, they tried to throw pretty much everything at the Caitlyn, just couldn't make it work. The Nico ult barely out of range. The Kled ult countered by the Caitlyn trap. Again, it's like, I feel like, you know, I don't think this game is quite over just yet. I mean, like, Caitlyn is a very immobile champion. She's very squishy. I think there's still a world where Red side could look for a CC chain, but if that's how the fights are going to look, then this game is as good as over, and they blew pretty much all of their cooldowns there.
Yeah. You know, in theory, they could actually, like, the Sanguine Squinks could actually have a pretty decent team fight. You know, with the Pop Blossom, with the Curse of the Sad Mummy ultimate. Even with, like, that ulti. But the problem is, Slime is doing a good job of making sure that they don't really go for those, like, 3v3s. Like, they just take these 1v1s as we see here, and just really push their 1v1 advantage, rather than giving advantages to Sanguine Squinks here.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if Amumu was gonna ult the wave like he was doing, you would at least want to hit the casters, but he's not even doing that. Like, when he ults under turret, he's kind of just doing it to stun the volley bear, and he's not even getting the whole minion wave, so even the Amumu ults feel a little bit wasted.
But now diving onto the Nunu, tries to get a decent angle here, but the ultimate will be a bit too much damage alongside Cody. Pop Blossom used here will catch out the Caitlyn, but doesn't really matter here.
Yeah, desperation setting in.
Yep. There is still time though. They could still farm, theoretically, because the goal is 1 in hit, not first tower.
I feel like, I don't even know, because I feel like the only way that you could make this work at this point would be wait for that Nico flash to come back, flash onto the Caitlyn with the Pop Blossom, layer that with the Kled ult, but will the game even last that long? Can Red Team really stall for like the 3 minutes needed to get that Nico flashback?
More importantly, like, will Nico even have the HP to survive getting in there? She's not using her disguise super well here, so looking at the damage onto, or like from this Caitlyn here, as we've just seen, even if they do get there, which you know it seems increasingly less likely, I don't think Lizardy would even be able to get in range.
This game is over, by the way. They have
though.
demolished. Nico's not going to get back in time.
Yeah, this game's well, we can dream. What
Well,
could have been.
for what it's worth, not the fastest game time today. We saw another game end in just 13 minutes and 40 seconds, but this is a close second. 14 minutes and 10 seconds for the end.
GWP, Slime, and Sanguine Squinks.
I mean, the result was to be expected. Again, this is the other team, Slime, the other team who is a possible favorite to win the entire tournament. So